I wonder if being in the Illuminati is like being a hipster, where if you deny being a hipster, then you're truly a hipster, but if you claim to be one, then you're not at all. Hey viewers, my name's Kara. I'm your host for Tuesdays on the Pagan Perspective, and this week we are talking about the Illuminati and Satan worshippers and stuff. So a couple of weeks ago, sometime last month I believe, we did videos specifically about the symbolism in Kesha's music video for Die Young. So I touched a little bit on Illuminati symbolism in that video. I will link to it because I am talking about the same links that I used there that I put in the description. But this week we're talking more specifically about the Illuminati. And there are two questions this week. The first one comes from Mr.1Spooky4, who says, I know this is kind of a weird question, but I wouldn't mind you guys discussing Illuminati and your thoughts, or if you think it's even real, and all the symbolism it shares with the pagans, such as hexagrams, Star of David, pentagrams, pentacles, etc., which may cause a lot of confusion among non-pagans and other religious groups such as Christians stereotyping pagans as Satan worshippers. So there's our first mention of Satan in relation to the Illuminati. And then the second question is from Michael Holmes, who says, do Satanists believe in Satan? Also, do you believe the Illuminati are devil worshippers? Anyway, do you believe in Satan? Also, if the Illuminati aren't associated with the devil, then why is their devil stuff put in subliminally in music videos, etc., etc., etc.? So I've broken this down into basic questions because, to paraphrase / quote Eric from a couple topics ago, I don't remember what topic it was, I know dick about the Illuminati. That's how I feel. It's one of those topics that I'm not supremely interested in, and I have not watched Rich's video yet, but I know that Rich knows more about it and more about the symbolism coming from the Freemasons and stuff like that, so watch Rich's video this week if you haven't yet. He's the Monday video before mine on this channel. So yeah, I'm only talking basic opinions here, and I'm mostly coming from, you know, this is my perspective. This is what the channel is supposed to be about, is the way that I view the world, how I would approach this kind of topic. So I've broken it down into some basic questions. First, do I think the Illuminati are real? Well, yes and no. I do recognize that there are / were actual organizations throughout history and different areas and things like that that used this name. And the Bavarian Illuminati being one of the first ones that this term kind of refers to. The Bavarian Illuminati stood for a lot of things that I could probably get behind if I were in that time period. I would probably want to be working toward the same causes that, you know, the internet has told me that they stood for. So yes, I think there were real groups that used this name. Do I also think that currently there is a secret society, the most popular members of which include George Bush, Lady Gaga, Jay-Z, Beyonce, Barack Obama, Britney Spears, and a whole bunch of other performers and musicians? Probably not. Kesha was not on the list on this one website as being an official member. It says that there are a lot of other people who are suspected to be members of the Illuminati, but there has to be more evidence for it to be proven as fact. But apparently other people, it's been factually proven they're in a secret society that we're not supposed to know about. What about the symbols that they share with paganism? You guys know I like symbols, and symbols are shared by a lot of groups, and so I just think that it's important that we educate people and educate ourselves about the differences in context. The same symbol might be used by 3 different groups. For a reason, each one of those groups might feel drawn to that symbol because it represents a certain thing to them, but it's not going to represent the same thing to this group as it represents to this group, and so on. Does this cause confusion among non-pagans? Probably, especially those who don't know the difference between the different contexts. You know, people might think of one symbol as being satanic, and then if another group uses it, they might just associate that, well, if this group is also using that symbol, then they are satanic too. And instead of recognizing that it has a different meaning in each different context, people just lump it all together and they think, well, if you're all using this symbol, then you're all the same thing, which isn't necessarily the case. The pentacle, for example, is commonly used by pagans and Wiccans, but it's also used by Freemasons, Satanists, and Christians. Each group used that symbol for a reason that fit their purpose. Whether it be the 5 elements, to me it's the 4 classical elements plus spirit and the circle of the pentacle bringing it all together, unity, continuation, things like that. Or whether it be in Christianity, it symbolizes the 5 wounds of Christ. Those are not the same thing. It doesn't mean that me wearing it means I'm a Christian, nor does it mean that a Christian who chooses to use the pentacle is automatically a pagan. You know, Freemasons, pagans, Christians, Satanists, they may use the same symbol in various forms, but they don't have the same meaning when used by each group. I can't stress that enough. Moving on to the next person's questions. So, do Satanists believe in Satan? Well, you'd probably be better off asking a Satanist about this, but I personally think it depends on what you mean by believe and Satan. I think those are both words that you could kind of, you have to explain that more. And it also depends on who you're asking. Through the little bits of research that I have done and from people who have commented on my videos or sent me messages saying, hey, I'm a Satanist and this is what I believe and this is how it kind of works, I know that there are multiple different kinds of Satanists. Some of them do actually have a belief in a figure of Satan as a literal being that they would worship or work with. And then there are also those who view Satan only as a symbol. It's a symbolic, abstract meaning. It's not a literal being that they work with or worship. They like to use it as a symbol for the things that they do believe in. Yeah, so do Satanists believe in Satan? They might believe in him as a symbol. They might, believe in the symbolic meaning, or they might actually believe in the literal figure. It depends on who you're talking about. They are not all the same. The next is, do I believe in Satan? I recognize that Satan has become a thought form through so many people believing in him, and I recognize it as a character and as a symbol. I do not personally worship or work with the symbolic Satan or anything like that, but yes, I recognize and acknowledge that it is a thing that's out there. Are the Illuminati devil worshippers? Well, clearly I don't know for sure, but I don't think so. Maybe some of them are, just like some people are, but I don't think that the Illuminati as an entire group are all devil worshippers. I don't think that's part of what brings them all together. I feel like if there is any connection between the Illuminati and Satan or the devil, then it's probably a symbolic one, but again, I have no actual idea. And before anyone starts telling me like, oh, well, you need to read this, you need to watch this, you need to blah, 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 it's not a subject that I really have a desire to get into. So if I did want to, I'm sure I could find these answers more. But I guess in this case I'm choosing to remain a little bit ignorant about it because it's just not something that I feel I really need to know about. There are people who know about these subjects, and it's not something that really has anything to do with my path. So I do learn about it basically, and in contexts like this where I just have to talk about sort of my basic opinion, I like to do some basic research and have a basic working knowledge of everything, but I have no personal desire to get really deep into it at this point in my life, so don't worry about that. The one website that I used before that talks about Illuminati symbols refers to the Illuminati as a satanic cult, but I think that's just a generalization because they do use some of the same symbols and things like that. I think it's just people saying, like, well, we associate these people with evil, and we associate these people with evil, therefore they're all the same. They're all just the same over there in that evil box of evilness. But I don't personally think that they are one and the same. Last big question, if the Illuminati are not devil worshippers, then why do they use satanic symbols in music videos, etc.? Like I said, the same symbols are used by different groups for different reasons. A lot of symbols may not even be satanic, that is, that actual Satanists may not even use the symbols, but someone labeled it as satanic because they think it's wrong or bad or evil or whatever it is, and they associate that with Satanists. So it might not even be a symbol that Satanists actually use that has gotten this label of being satanic. In the video that I did about Kesha's symbolism in that music video, I talked about some symbols that people associate with the Illuminati, and also as satanic, like the A-OK hand sign, which I have been told means something really vulgar in Australia, but here in the States it just kind of means A-OK, everything's okay. Someone can then come around and say, oh, that's a satanic hand symbol because there's 3 fingers and there's 3 sixes in the number of the beast and therefore it's satanic. And all of a sudden every little kid saying okay to their buddies is worshipping the devil. Symbols just get meaning from places, they don't always make sense. Also, things that are considered Illuminati symbols are used elsewhere, and in those other contexts they don't mean the same thing that they mean when they're being associated with the Illuminati. They're just symbols, and people give them meanings. And I don't know why people choose to use such symbols in music videos. You would have to ask them. I venture that it's probably to get people's attention and to get people talking about it. Which we are, so it worked. Really quick before I go, I have moved our Pagan Perspective collab channel's list of every topic ever, every topic that we've ever done. It used to be on a Tumblr post, but it got to be way too big to be kept in one post, so I have moved it all over to a blog site. I will put the link into the description. It is paganperspectivecollab.blogspot.com, and there you will find a tab for each year that the Pagan Perspective collab has been in operation, and when you click on those, it will give you every topic that we did for that year and all the videos underneath it. I started doing this list before Yucca started putting all of our videos into playlists on the channel, so now I realize it may have actually been easier to just link to the playlist of that channel and then you can just see all of them for the week. But as it is, we did this before we made playlists, so each individual video is actually linked on those. There's also a frequently asked questions page on that site. And yeah, so we have that now, so anything else that we might need to put out there, we can use that site. So those of you who have been following the collab for a while and those of you who are new to the collab, please just keep in mind that it's there, and if you see someone else asking, you know, a very common question that you know is answered in the FAQs, please point them to the blog site. I will try to put it in the descriptions of all of our videos and things like that. It is also linked on the channel main page in the sidebar, along with our Twitter and our Facebook page, I believe. Okay, so that's it. Now I'm done talking, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to be awesome, blessed be, and goodbye.